أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد سيدنا الأولين والآخرين مدد رسول مدد صلاة أصحاب رسول مدد دستور مولانا Sh.Muhammad فازنا حسن Sh.Muhammad الحقان مدد طريقتنا الصحبة والخير في الجمعية Peygamberimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor la ta'atul mahluk fi masiyetil halik bir mahluk olan biz Allah'ın yarattıkları.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said that we, as the creatures, as the creation of Allah Almighty, the Creator,
yaratıcına isyan etmek için başka birinin yaratılanın emrine taat olmaz. Onu
we must not obey those who order us and command us to oppose the commands and the will of Allah Almighty. As the creatures of our Lord Allah Almighty, we must know that Him, Allah Almighty, is our Lord, and we must not obey those who encourage us and order us to act against the will of Allah Almighty and to oppose the orders of Allah Almighty.
Ona dinlenilmez yani.
One must not listen to those who order you to act against the will of Allah Almighty or the commands of Allah Almighty.
Allah'a karşı gelin, Allah'a karşı olun derse başka bir.
Don't listen to those who order you to be against Allah Almighty, who order you to come up against your Lord Allah Almighty.
İnsan Allah Azze ve Celle'nin ona taat olmaz.
As humans, as the creatures of our Lord Allah Almighty, who is the Creator and who is the one whose orders we must obey, we must not follow the orders of those who order us to come up against our Lord Allah Almighty and to oppose the commands of Allah Almighty.
Kötülüğü emredenin peşinden emrini peşinde gitmeye değil de emrini itaat etmek.
So this is not just about not following those who command badness, who order you to do badness, but this is even more. This is about not obeying those who order badness, because people may order you to do bad things, but you must not follow. No, you must not obey. Even beyond, you must not obey those who order you to do badness.
Olmaz. Sen Allah'a karşı gelmişsin. Sen kendin cezanı çekeceksin.
If somebody comes up against the will or the commands of Allah Almighty, then it is up to him, and then he will be held accountable for it, and he will pay the price for it.
Bize ne için bizi de illa seninle beraber cehenneme götürmek istersin? Gideceğiz.
Don't let yourself be forced into hellfire yourself too by those who act against the commands of Allah Almighty, those who do not obey the orders of Allah Almighty and even oppose the orders of Allah Almighty. Don't allow them to let them drag you to hellfire too.
Sen serbestsin.
If they want to go to hell, then leave them go to hell.
Allah herkese irade vermiş.
Allah Almighty provided everyone with a free will.
Kendine yapacağı şeyleri söylemiş.
And Allah Almighty told everyone what to do.
Sen doğru yolu, kötü yolu göstermiş Allah Azze ve Celle.
And Allah Almighty made it clear what the right way is and what the bad way is.
Onun için doğru yolda olanla beraber ol.
Be with those who are on the right way.
Kötü yolda olup da sana bu yola gel diyene.
Don't follow those who follow the bad way and who call onto you to follow their bad way too.
Ona kanma.
Don't let yourselves be deceived by those who make you follow their way, which in fact is a bad way.
İnanma. Onun peşinden gitme.
Don't believe them. Don't follow them. Don't follow those who are on a way which is against the way of Allah Almighty.
Allah yolundan git.
Follow the way of Allah Almighty instead.
Çünkü kötü yola giden insan sonu kötüdür.
Those who follow the path of badness must know that this path will result in badness.
Dünyada da hayır etmez.
There will be neither blessing in this world,
Hayır ettiğim gibi gözükse bile
and even if a person may seem successful from a worldly perspective,
onun aldatmacadır.
that is only a deception.
Ona Allah Azze ve Celle imkanlar verir ki
You must know that Allah Almighty gives those people possibilities,
insanlar zanneder ki bu bir şey kazanmış.
and these possibilities which lead to seemingly worldly success is only a deception.
Yok, o ahirette daha fazla ceza çeksin diye
Because in fact they are not gaining something. All they are gaining is more and more sins which will they have to pay for in the hereafter, and for which they will be punished in the hereafter.
onlara imkan veriyor.
This seemingly worldly success and these possibilities they have, they are only a means for them to increase in their badness and their sins, and to increase the punishment they will encounter in the hereafter.
Allah Azze ve Celle dediğimiz gibi irade vermiş insana.
Allah Almighty gave humankind willpower,
O iradeyi Allah hikmetiyle
and Allah Almighty gave humanity willpower based on a wisdom and for a reason.
her şeyde hikmeti var Allah Azze ve Celle'nin.
There is a reason and a wisdom behind everything Allah Almighty created.
İnsan istediği gibi gidebilir.
And with that free will, with that willpower, people have the choice to choose which path they want to pursue.
İki yol var.
And there are two paths to pursue.
Bir doğru yol var,
One way is the right way.
bir kötü yol var.
The other way is the bad way,
Doğru olmayan,
which is not the right way,
insanlara faydası olmayan,
which does not bring any benefit to people,
zararı olan yol var.
which harms and brings damage to people.
O yol nedir? Allah'a isyan etmek yoludur.
What is that bad way? The bad way is the way of opposing Allah Almighty, fighting and coming up against the Lord Allah Almighty.
Onun için Peygamber Efendimiz söylüyor, sana biri emrederse
That is why our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, warned us
içki içelim, hırsızlık yapalım, zina yapalım falan diye.
and said that if somebody orders you to do badness, like come, let's drink alcohol, or let's commit adultery, or let's do some other kind of badness,
Ona kanma,
then in that case, don't let yourselves be deceived and do not follow their orders.
ona itaat etme. Onun peşinden gitme.
Don't follow those and do not obey those who order you to do bad things.
Peygamber Efendimiz sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem'in emridir, vasiyetidir.
This is the order and the will of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him.
İnsanlığa iyilik, rahmet olarak gelen Peygamber Efendimiz
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, has been sent as a mercy to the worlds.
iyiliğin en iyisini söyleyen Peygamber Efendimiz.
And he is the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, who said the best of the best and who only desires goodness for people.
Sözüdür. Onun için ona tabi olun.
And these are the words of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, and it is this recommendation of his, among all others, which we should follow.
Şeytana tabi olmayın.
Do not follow Shaitan.
Şeytan kötülüğü emreder.
Shaitan is the one who orders you to do bad things.
ona itaat eden hiç iflah etmez.
Those who obey shaitan will never be successful.
Allah muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us.
Allah şeytanların şerrinden, kötülüğü emredenlerin şerlerinden muhafaza etsin.
May Allah Almighty protect us from the evil of shaitan and protect us from the evil and badness of those who order people to do bad things.
Allah onlara kandırmasın bizi.
And may Allah Almighty protect us from being deceived by them.
Ve minallah tevfik. El Fatiha.